Hello there, a little Sunday evening broadcast here, a sort of a podcast. It's just me talking, but these are really important things about nitric oxide, piezoelectric bones. The red light therapy has a role there, UVA has a role there, a little bit more about grounding. Just a few fascinating things to update you a bit about oxidative stress, if I didn't mention that one already. So what I want to say, somebody asked me, how do we create more nitric oxide? Because it only lasts a second in your body. That important signaling molecule, how do we create more of it? Answer: sunlight. And also to some degree red light does it as well. But this is what sunlight does. So the UVA, ultraviolet A levels of the electromagnetic spectrum, they convert nitrates into nitric oxide. So about 20 years ago, somebody asked my wife read a fascinating thing that I can't remember who this was. They were drinking their greens and in sunlight, because the sunlight would then convert it into wonderful things in their bodies, and it acted as a screen protector, as a sunscreen protector as well. Now it does so happen that nitrates in your skin, we know how to get nitrates. We eat some lovely food with dark greens. Nitrates will be converted by UVA into nitric oxide. Wonderful news. So you just get some sunlight, and the wavelengths between 315 to 400 nanometers in the ultraviolet A band is what is converting the nitrates to nitric oxide. Now UVB, 280 to 315 nanometers, is essential for vitamin D production, but that has nothing to do with the production of nitric oxide. That is something apart. So anyway, moderate exposure to the sun in the morning or evening is what's going to help this nitric oxide to be produced. And the key takeaway is Nitrates+Sunlight equals nitric oxide. Junk food and sunlight equals cancer. So it depends. We eat good things happen with the sun. We eat bad things happen with the sun. Now, nitrates are not converted by red light with the red light therapy to nitric oxide. However, red light therapy does boost nitric oxide through mitochondrial stimulation and nitrite reduction. So nitrite, NO2 minus, becomes nitric oxide. So if you have a red light therapy, of course you can use the sun, but red light penetrates the skin, goes into our mitochondria. I've mentioned cytochrome C oxidase, that absorbs it, they are light receptors, and that will enhance your cellular energy production, ATP. Now this energy boost activates enzymes like nitric oxide synthase, NOS, and that helps to convert stored nitrite into nitric oxide. Not nitrates, nitrite. So the key difference is that sunlight breaks down nitrates and into nitrite, into nitric oxide, and red light acts on nitrite and turns it into nitric oxide. Reducing oxidative stress preserves an existing nitric oxide that you have in your body. So there was a 2013 study in the Journal of Photochemistry and Photobiology B. They found that 670 nanometers of light, that's pure red light, increased nitric oxide released in the endothelial cells. And so in the clip on Qi, I talk about that. So now we know, just for the record, UVA and your red light create nitric oxide. So what do I mean by oxidative stress? Well, oxidative stress, I'll be mentioning it quite a few times. When your body is full of free radicals, or reactive oxygen species, ROS for short, and there are not enough antioxidants to neutralize them, that's when free radicals, which are unstable molecules, damage cells. They damage proteins. They damage our DNA. And where do you get free radicals from breathing, from digestion, from pollution, from smoking, UV rays, unhealthy food, and simply stress? Now, antioxidants that we get from fruit, vegetables, and some enzymes that our body makes balance these out. Antioxidants combat oxidative stress, which we want to eliminate. We want to eliminate the cell damage, the aging, the cancer, the diabetes, Alzheimer's, heart problems. So just consider oxidative stress. Oxygen is very volatile, reacts with everything, and it rusts things up. So just think of oxidative stress as rusting up inside our bodies. And the antidote is to eat lots of antioxidants. Now, Qi. I want to mention a little bit about Qi, the Qi as in Qigong. Now, I mentioned last time about leading our Qi. This was in the clip about Qi. Leading it, conducting it. And we do this with our Yi mind. There's the Zin and the Yi, Y-I. Our Yi mind, which is like our intent. So we visualize, we use our imagination, we lead our Qi. We can lead it anywhere in our bodies that we want to lead it. So the emotive force that our brain generates will, electrical activity I'm talking about. Now, a brain can generate 40 watts of electrical activity. That's enough to power an old incandescent light bulb. Okay, it's DC current, not AC. But, and we can't actually power a light bulb because it would kill all the neurons in our brain. If they were all used to power a light bulb, how could we survive that? But that's how much electricity our brains generate. Because that's the amount of electricity that 86 billion neurons produce, that sort of energy. So there's a lot, the human body is full of electricity. Qi is electricity, bioelectricity. Now, one thing I don't know when I'm going to do a clip on this, so I might as well mention it now. To do with electricity, our bones are piezoelectric. So I think quartz is piezoelectric. If you press it, if you compress it, if you move the molecules together, it will produce electricity. So the forces, if you pull it apart, it will produce electricity, because the forces on the molecule are generating a negative or positive electrical force, electromagnetic force. So our bones are piezoelectric. Stress, loading. So every step we take with our skeletal system loads it, puts pressure on it, and that will encourage repair and rebuilding of our skeletal system. Our skeletal system weakens when we go into space. Well, I don't go into space, but you might do. You might go into space. I don't know. But it's a problem for astronauts, because we need the stress, the daily stress, the daily forces to act on our bones. That stress is so important to keep them healthy. Osteoblast activity that rebuilds the bone, and osteoclast cells take away decaying bone, we could say, or let's just say it's maintenance, where the skeleton is less solid. Then there's osteoclast, and then it takes away some of the crumbling bricks, and it rebuilds the bone as well with osteoblast, depending if it's negative, positive charge. This is pure electricity at work. It doesn't matter if we're sleepwalking, it would be good for us. Osteoblasts, osteoclasts, the bones being piezoelectric. How to combat osteoporosis? Well, you know I'm a fan of red light, and yes, red light therapy penetrates our tissues, absorbed by the mitochondria, cytochrome C oxidase. It increases ATP production, reduces oxidative stress. But a 2014 trial, Lasers in Medical Science, found 808 nanometers, that's near infrared. So my infrared panel does 680 and 850, but this particular experiment found that 808 nanometers light, it accelerated fracture healing in rats by 30%. So it reduces bone loss, osteoporosis, it supports osteoclasts, bone reabsorbing cells, and lowers inflammation. Near infrared light supports bone health. For example, if you have problems with osteoporosis. And I'm often worried about losing bone density because I don't get as much exercise as I used to. I'm unable to run about as I used to. There are certain days I can't do much at all, like today. So yesterday, good. I walked a kilometre, very good. Today, less good. Now, another thing I'm very fond of is earthing. In my garden now, I've been earthing for 6 months, and amazing things have been happening. It's amazing to think I had this lawn outside my house, and February, in February, 6 months after my stroke, I could sleep 1 hour a night. That was it. And I came out onto my patio to get a few rays of sun. little did I know, all I had to do was take my shoes and socks off and get on the lawn to do some grounding. So the grounding has reduced my pressure in my eye. It's been high for 2 years. The hospital's been measuring it. It's been at 28. Well, how come 4 months after I discovered grounding, the pressure for the first time is down to 20? They were sure I was taking glaucoma eye drops to reduce the pressure. No, I wasn't. No, not at all. I did grounding. And if you think my eye pressure came down, well, what happened to my normal blood pressure? Came down. So I have to take 42 pills a week. 42, 6 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 2 in the evening, which are a repeat of 2 that I take in the morning. So 42 pills a week, which I've done religiously every day for 2.5 years. Or 2 years and 7 months. Now, suddenly my pressure's getting low. I've never seen figures like pressure like with a diastolic at 75. Never seen that before. And so I've been measuring my blood pressure and checking it. So instead of taking 42 pills, I take 30. I don't take my evening medication. Why? Because I don't need to. Why don't I need to? Because I've been earthing. Negative electrons come in, accelerate the blood circulation. I've talked about this plenty. If you don't believe me, fine, switch off, go and look at cartoons or blockbusters. Sorry. So I've taken, despite reducing my medication, not taking my evening medication, my blood pressure was 118/78 last night. I mean, basically, it's what it says on the box as an example. It was exactly those figures. And so, you know, things have been changing. And I'm delighted to have found solutions and to have learned about the human body. Sure, I'm not a biologist, nothing of the sort. I'm not really a scientist. Maybe I'm becoming one. But to actually, to feel empowered through knowledge and through things we can do, like wonderful earthing. And we can change our bodies for the better. It's not me, it's the earth, it's Gaia. It's Gaia that's doing it. Amazing, it's free. Even on bank holidays, Gaia will fix your body. Absolutely amazing. There was a little rain this afternoon, so the grass is very conductive, nice and wet. So I was on the grass. I'm on this little helipad, round patio we have underneath this Japanese tree. We call it our helipad. That's where I'm filming tonight. Anyway, I just wanted to mention those the things about oxidative stress, reactive oxygen species, a bit of terminology, a bit more on nitric oxide, how we can generate it, how the good food becomes nitrates, become nitrites, become nitric oxide, if we follow the right steps. And the red light panel is a big tool. I know this is basically getting the sun, the earth, the elements, oxygen, H-bot, which I will be considering, hyperbaric oxygen, to possibly repair the penumbral regions of my brain affected by the stroke. But quite honestly, hyperbaric oxygen is going to help anybody over 60 because it just supplies more oxygen to the brain. So there we go, seagulls. Nice to see you flying. Hope everyone learnt something or got inspired, or at least saw that I'm inspired. And have a great day.